All right, so we have been working with ratio tables and unit rates and then even proportions. We're dealing with proportional relationships. So remember, a proportional relationship is an equation or it's showing two equal ratios. All right, so let's look at a couple of examples as to what I'm talking about. So if we look at this, if I wanted to figure out what the value of x is, okay, I could just kind of look at an equal fraction. Okay, I could go, I know from here to here I'm dividing by 5, so divide by 5, so x has to equal 3. Okay, same thing here. I can divide by 3, so x has to equal 8. All right, so that's just looking at equal fractions. I could also figure out what the unit rate was and kind of build that back up. So when we're looking to see if something is proportional, we can look at a unit rate. We can look at equal fractions. We can also look at cross products, okay? Cross products, so cross multiplying. So let's see what I mean about that. So if you look at this one, this one is not as easy to figure out as the others. I can't figure out, what did I multiply by to get that, okay? So we're gonna do what's called cross multiplying. So I'm gonna go from here to here, and I'm gonna multiply. So this is 4x has to equal, multiply those two together, 35. Has to equal 35. So if we're going to solve some equations here. So I want to figure out 4 times something gives me 35. So in order to figure out the opposite of multiplying by 4, that means I'm going to divide this side by 4. So x would have to equal 8.75. 8.75. Lost my pen. 8.75. So let's go back and just make sure that this works here. So if I were going to do it this way, it would be 12x equals, I'm going to grab my calculator, 24 times 4, that's 96. So if I want to get x by itself, I'm going to divide by 12. So x has to equal, yep, that would be 8. Okay, so that works for ones that are harder to figure out. Okay, it will work with any of them. So let's do a couple of them. Let's look at these together. So, right, so we're going to solve these. So I'm going to cross multiply. So this means 6m has to equal 4 times 15 is 90. So I want to get m by itself. So that means I need to, the opposite of multiplying by 6 is to divide by 6. Okay, so I'm left with m has to equal 15. Okay, let's go to the next one. So this is 15n has to equal 90. So I'm going to divide by 15, So n has to equal 6. 8h, multiplying right here, 8h equals 120. 120. So now divide by 8. So h has to equal 15. Okay. Cross multiply. 18b has to equal 36. I want to get b by itself, so divide by 18, b has to equal 2. Okay, b has to equal 2. All right, so the next thing is actually looking at it in a word problem. Okay, so in a word problem. So when you set up your ratio, it's what you want to know, or sorry, what you know, and then what you want to know. So if you look at this, it takes Mike 18 minutes to finish 4 pages of a book. So that's what I know. So it's 18 minutes for 4 pages. And how long does it take him to read 30 pages? So again, put your second ratio, you need to make sure they're the same. So my 4 was my pages, so 30 needs to go on bottom. So I don't know how many minutes. That's where my variable is. Okay, so once it sets up this way, I'm just going to cross multiply. So 4x equals, and then 30 times 18 equals 540. All right, 540. So then I want to get rid of this 4. So the opposite of multiplying by 4 is to divide by 4. So divided by 4. So x has to equal 135. These must be big pages, 135 minutes for 30 pages. Okay, let's check the next one. All right, Miss Paynes was going to bake cupcakes. She knew the recipe calls for 2 cups of flours for 24 cupcakes. So I know 2 cups of flour for 24 cupcakes, but I want to make 30 cupcakes. Okay, this represents the cupcake, so it has to be on bottom. Okay, so I'm going to cross multiply. So 24x has to equal 60. All right, so then I need to divide by 24. So x has to equal 2.5, 2.5. So it needs 2.5 cups of flour. All right. All right, why don't you do this one, pause the video, and come back when you have your answer. All right, check your answer. All right, if you have any questions on the proportions, let me know. And otherwise, have a great day.